Hi Joe, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you.
Brilliant. And I heard that you've been moving house.
Yeah, we moved it's about 6 weeks ago now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been lots of fun and also lots of struggles.
I bet. Have you been busy decorating or,
Yeah, painting, decorating, tiled the kitchen, fitting the floors, shelves, everything, you name it.
Did you tile the kitchen yourself?
It was me and my partner that did it together.
Wowza, that's impressive. Well done you. That's an absolutely huge achievement. So today we're just going to be doing your appraisal. So obviously it'll be looking back at the stuff that we've done and you've done in particular over the last year, and the contribution you've made to the net pot. So firstly, I just want to start with thanking you for all of your efforts and work over the last year. You're a key member of this team, and you need to understand that. The team leaders have mentioned, that you're super duper speedy in picking and packing orders, and that you've been following the health and safety procedures down to a T. And so I just really want to give you a pat on the back for that, really, and say thank you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's all from me. I'm going to hand over to you now. What do you think's gone well this year?
Well, I think I've done quite well at picking and packing my orders. So picking is like the speed at which I'm grabbing them off the shelves, and my packing, I feel like I've been quite quick at it, and also quite neat and tidy at the same time. Obviously we get the goals from our team leaders, and I've just been looking at them and reviewing them and seeing how my actual performance matches up against them.
Absolutely brilliant. That's really great. I'm really pleased that you've been exceeding your targets. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I really like exceeding my targets because it makes me feel like I'm actually an asset to my team and to the company itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really pleased that it makes you feel that way. I think that sort of sense of achievement you get from exceeding your targets and doing things like that is really great. However, it has been noted to me from the team leaders that although you've been picking and packing so fast, which is great, that the accuracy from the orders that you are picking has declined ever so slightly over the past few months. Do you know why that might be?
Well, I think I could actually benefit with a bit of help from my other team members, but no one really wants to help me at the moment. Everyone seems to have got it in their head that I'm just trying to cause trouble or pick a fight.
Right, okay. And do you think that's in relation to the incident that happened earlier this year? Because some members of the team have mentioned as well, that you've been a little bit aggressive towards other members of the team.
I wouldn't say it's aggressive per se. There was that one time that was with John, and there was some other incidents with other members of the team, Jeff and Tina, but I think they were blown out of proportion, really.
Right, okay. Well, first things first, I just think that we need to understand that aggression is never really going to solve any issues. So we need to think about different ways that you can sort of handle difficult situations, and how we can work to improve this. I'm thinking maybe an online learning session on conflict resolution. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds really good. I think that'd work for me, but I would also like it if maybe some other members of the team did it as well, because I don't think it's purely me at fault.
Okay, I understand that, and I'll take that feedback on board. But today, this is all about you, this session, so we're going to focus purely on you and how you can develop and improve rather than worrying about other people. But I do think it's important to understand the impact that you have on these situations and how, you can change your part to make things better. Yeah. So I think that, if we do that, then we'll be onto a winner. Are there any other areas where you feel that your strengths lie?
I feel like I always maintain a steady level of performance throughout my shift. From the moment I start to the moment I finish, I don't really go up and down. It's sort of like a very steady level. There's no waking up in the morning, or there's no tiredness on set at night.
Yeah, that's really good. And that is brilliant, because I can see from your figures when you first started that you're really hardworking, and I just don't want you to think that your efforts have gone unrecognised. As you said, like when you're exceeding your targets, it makes you feel great. It makes you have this huge sense of achievement, and you really do need to keep that going. And the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. Considering overall that you've been really, a great performer, where do you see yourself going next?
Well, I've been thinking for a while that I might like to try and become a team leader and work towards that.
Brilliant. And what's made you want to become a team leader?
Well, to be honest, it's Kevin that I worked with from the HR team when the incident happened. I feel like he was very fair and very balanced with how he handled everything. And I've looked at the workload that he does, and I don't think it's too much more on top of what I already do. So.
Yeah, so you were sort of inspired by Kevin then, and the things that he had to say. That's really nice. Have you spoken to Kevin about this?
No, not yet. It's sort of still early stages in my mind where I'm thinking about how I'd like to move forward with it.
Okay. Well, I think that's really brilliant that you're showing an interest in wanting to develop and become a team leader. Although I don't think that you're ready for it just yet, I think it's definitely something we can work towards. On a sort of side note to that, another thing that has been noted is that you don't seem to be showing much interest in the company anymore, and that this you becoming a team leader has sort of come as a surprise to me, a happy surprise. But I'm just wondering, why it might be that you've not really been showing much interest or going to any social events.
Well, I am interested. I've been learning in my spare time about the team leadership role from job descriptions on online, and I've also been looking at like skills-based quizzes and things like that to sort of establish where my strengths are and where I might need to improve. And I am still interested in the company. It's just with everything that happened with the incidents, I sort of felt a bit ostracised from the rest of the team, and also moving house. It's quite a big thing. There was quite a lot of stresses beforehand with lawyers, estate agents, things like that, and past the moving day, it was just moving into a house. It's sort of ate up into all my free time outside of work hours.
I see. So I think let's think about what we can do in supporting you and working towards that goal. First and foremost, I'm going to have a chat with Kevin and see how he feels about becoming your mentor, and see if he can sort of show you the ropes of a team leader, what that entails day to day, and if it's still something that you feel that you'd be well suited to. How do you feel about
that? Yeah, really good. Like I say, I do. Kevin is a man that I respect a lot, and I do think that shadowing him and seeing things he does would benefit me greatly.
Absolutely. I do need to set your expectation here. The team leader role, one of the huge parts of it is being a team player, being able to communicate with other people in the team, and being able to deal with difficult situations. Do you think this is going to be something that you can do?
Yeah, I can. I'm definitely going to work on being able to mix with the team, like with the courses and stuff that we've been talking about. I think it'll become much easier and you'll see a much bigger increase from me in the next few months.
Brilliant. So that's really good. Although a few of you and all the members of the team have fed back that over the past few months that mixing with other members of the team have been an issue. I think that as much as that might be stuff to do with you, it's also things that we can help you with. So in addition to this conflict resolution course, how do you feel about attending a relationship building course? So some team building activities, because it's not always just about being best friends with someone and getting on like a house on fire. Sometimes you just have to make positive relationships in the workplace and learn how to get on with people. And it might help you to think a bit more about your actions and, like I said earlier, the impact that they have on others.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd definitely be interested in something like that if it means it's going to help set the stage for my future.
Brilliant. I'm going to pop that down on some notes, and I will commit as well on this to what's it called? Sorry. I will also commit to hosting some team building sessions on the back of this for all of us to ensure that we're all working together as a team to make the best output. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds really
brilliant. And I think now we've talked about some of the brilliant things that you've done over the last year. How about now if we cover some things that you don't feel have gone so well this year? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, well, obviously there was the incident that happened with the member of staff that we spoke about earlier, and also I just feel like me not being able to work with the team is a little bit of a problem, but I'm just trying my best to knuckle down now and be better at my job.
Yeah, that's really good that you're focusing on your work, and I can understand where you're coming from. That's often a good way to sort of distract yourself by throwing yourself into something. So as we discussed it earlier, we're going to combat those issues with the team, get some training on board, and also do some team building activities. Is there anything else that you don't feel went so great?
Yeah, well, my damage slash accuracy figures are down, as you mentioned before.
Okay, yeah, and do you believe this is due to issues with the team?
Yeah, I think so. I've just been trying to pull my weight a lot more to show that I'm still a part of the team, and I think that I might have overreached maybe, and stretched myself a little thin.
Okay, and do you think there's anything else impacting it?
Yeah, like I say, just being conscious of the rest of the team not liking me.
Right, okay. So I do really appreciate your efforts, and I think this is something you need to focus on if you are aspiring to be a team leader, because I think to be a team leader you need to, be able to inspire the rest of the team. You need to be, the sort of goal, so you need to set the precedent for the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing that, you need to make sure that your damage and your accuracy rates are high. Sorry, not high, the opposite of high, low. You want your accuracy to be really good, and your damage rates to be minimal. So it's not just about quantity, it's also about the quality. Try taking time picking orders. The first thing that springs to mind for me is perhaps we could pop you on a shadowing session on your next shift. We could maybe do it once a week, where for a couple of hours each shift you're shadowing another member of the team that has got higher sort of performing a little bit higher than you are. So we'd be able to help you to pick up those skills. I could maybe ask Kevin.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I will also pop that down in my notes, because I think that although this is something that we're just discussing, first and foremost now, I think that if the issue continues, we might need to, look at other issues that might be impacting it, but also if it has improved, we need to sort of celebrate that and focus on those things. So in 3 months' time, you and I will have another little review session where we'll run through how these things that we've discussed so far, how we think they're going. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Brilliant. There is something that I do need to raise with you that has been mentioned and I have noticed, is that your sick days seem to have increased this year quite a lot, and the trend seems to be the same 2 days each month. I assume there's a reason for this?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've just been feeling quite down with everything that's been going on at work with my other members of staff, and just been going out a bit more at the weekend to try and distract myself from it, and that's left me feeling sort of tired and unwell. But after the conversation we've just had, I feel like that took positive steps in a direction that's going to solve these issues, so it's going to be much less than that.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Okay, well, I mean, like I say, this is something that we are going to have to seriously focus on, because we can't have you, taking sick days here and there.
No.
But, if you do need sick days, you have to take them. So please don't feel that you can't take sick days now. Again, we'll review this in a few months' time, and any sick days you do have going forward, we're going to make sure that we're completing a return to work, just so that we can keep it monitored and, support you in whatever way we can. Okay?
Yeah.
Finally, I'd like to share with you the best in class figures. So I mentioned earlier about, sort of performance in the team and wanting to be, the best of the best. So if I share these figures with you, and I'll give you a little snippet now of what they are, but also I'll pass them over to you afterwards, just so that you've got them as a reference. So the inbound orders received per hour, the benchmark is 10.26.
Mm-hmm.
Outbound orders picked and shipped per hour, 23.5. On time ready, 99.9%. Damage free shipments, 99.9%, and order picked accuracy, 99.9%. So these are the figures that have been benchmarked, for this role across all companies sort of. So we need to strive for those goals, and I think that these are the figures that I would like you to be aiming for. I think that this will help you to become a top performer in our team.
Yeah.
And it will really bring you up. And I think with all of the training and development opportunities that you and I have discussed so far, and a little bit more effort from yourself, that we're going to see lots of improvements, and hopefully that you're going to be on track to be getting that, hitting those goals that you want for yourself. I think that's all I've really got to discuss with you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you've got to add?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered it all for me.
Brilliant. So I'll follow up with you, probably in the next couple of days, just to let you know with another meeting to follow up on this, with the things that we've discussed. And I will also be in touch regarding those training courses.
That's fantastic.
Thanks so much for coming today.
That's great. Thank you.